This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And Will.
And I'm Zeo.
And Zeo, we forgot on the Nathan video to give you a plug, but I think it's because we were messing around with your webcam. So why don't you tell the viewers who you are?
I'm Zeo. I talk about nerd news and occasionally play video games. You can find me on Twitter at ZeoTGT, or you can find me on YouTube and BitChute at Zeo Gaming.
And ZeoTGT is the right place to get the news on Twitter, so definitely go check it out. He's got a interesting take on a lot of the stuff he covers. And even if he covers the same subjects as other people, his take is usually more interesting than other people's takes.
Agreed. Yes.
Especially your Persona take. You definitely go watch that video. It's a good one.
Yeah, you'll only be able to find that one on BitChute though. So last time I checked, it's still DMCA'd, and I still have a strike on my channel. So,
well, he put in the work and kept it up on BitChute. So definitely give him a like and give him a subscription. Go check it out. All right. So today we're going to talk about the gaming industry's probably most hated component, mobile gaming.
It was fun at first. I enjoyed the original mobile games.
Well, let me run the intro.
No.
So the first game on a mobile phone was, what do you think it was, Will?
Tetris.
Dang it, he read the script.
Oh wait, that's right. It is written there, isn't it? I was going to say
crap.
Snake.
You know what's really funny is like I have read the script and I thought I was being clever by guessing that, but I realized I obviously knew that information already.
I was testing to see if you read the script, Will. All right, so it was on this phone. This phone had Tetris on it, believe it or not.
I do not recognize that phone.
The Hagenuk MT2000. The 1994 cell phone, smartphone, whatever you
would
call
make
it.
Sense. That would be why I don't remember it.
So, 1994, yeah, we definitely wouldn't remember this one.
No.
Anyways, so downloadable mobile games were first commercialized in Japan, circa the launch of the NTT Docomo's iMode platform in 1999. And by the early 2000s, were available through a variety of platforms throughout Asia, Europe, North America, and ultimately most territories where modern carrier networks and handsets were available by the mid-2000s. All right, this is pre-iPhone. All of this is pre-iPhone, right? Just want to make that clear for anybody who's a younger viewer. This is all pre-iPhone. iPhone did not launch until 2007, and the App Store didn't launch until after that, and I believe 2008. It's on here later. So Nokia tried to create its own dedicated mobile gaming platform with the N-Gage in 2003.
I remember that. Yeah.
Let's pull it up for all the younger viewers to see if they haven't watched like a Metal Jesus or a John Hancock. They probably won't know what this is. Or a Gamester 81, any of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, I forgot that thing even existed.
It did a bad job as a gaming device, and it did a worse job as a cell phone.
Yep.
It had some really interesting cartridges, though, and it actually had a version of Tomb Raider. What I've never understood about this device is they chose to do a portrait screen. I will never understand that design choice. Anyway, so they created the first mobile gaming platform with the N-Gage in 2003, but it failed due to the mixture of unpopular design, as I just cited for you guys, poor software support, and competition from handheld game consoles that were not cell phones. Widely regarded as more technically advanced. The N-Gage brand was retained for a few years as a game service included on Nokia's general-purpose cell phones. Now, I will also tell you that the Symbian operating system, which a lot of us in the US do not know anything about, but I do because I know a lot about the history of cell phones and mobile technology because I'm just a geek about that stuff. Symbian was like a European mobile operating system similar to like iOS or like Android or WebOS or BlackBerry, any of those. But it had like a limit to the amount of advancements you could make in the software, and so it was eventually going to be obsolete due to the way the software was written. And so Nokia built an entire mobile handset line on the Symbian OS. If you look up any of Nokia's old cell phones, they did not run Android or iOS or anything that makes sense. They ran Symbian. So that's
Well, I mean,
that's
they weren't even really around back then, were they?
Nokia.
No, Android.
Nokia had a short stint where both iOS and Android existed at the same time as Symbian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And in fact, some of the Nokia devices pre-Windows Phone were still running Symbian in like the 2010 timeframe.
Hmm.
So Apple's iOS App Store was launched on July 10th, 2008. The very first game on the App Store was actually Apple's Texas Hold'em game, which, throw back to that, I haven't played Texas Hold'em on an electronic device in a long time. The Android market, now called the Google Play Store, launched on October 22nd, 2008. And based upon some research I performed myself, it appears that Pac-Man was one of the first, if not the first, Android market game, hitting the top downloads list in November of 2008 with over 250,000 downloads. Think about that. In less than a month and a half, Pac-Man was downloaded 250,000 times. Back when Android was
Pac-Man, so
Android's
Yeah, it was
brand
Pac-Man,
new.
and also there wasn't really anything else. So,
But I mean, that means there was at least 250,000 Android devices in the first month of the launch. You know,
yeah,
that's
that's true.
pretty
True.
good.
yeah.
I would imagine it was far greater because a lot of people buying Android probably weren't buying it to go game. They're probably buying it because it was like, oh, look, this is a device that's not iOS, that's a smartphone.
You remember those
I-
original
that was
Android,
I
my
do.
thing, so
What was
the
that?
Droid ads?
I got the Android Droid, or what is it? Just the Droid?
Yeah, OG Droid,
Yeah, I got that because it was my first smartphone and it wasn't an iPhone.
yeah. Because iPhone was still limited to AT&T, which a lot of people don't remember because it hasn't been limited to AT&T in years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I just hated Apple products, so
I hear you on that one.
I absolutely am just fine with Apple's iOS games and iOS devices, but that's fine. I won't hold that against you. So, what I want to bring up now is what are some of our favorite mobile games? And I'll actually start this one off. It's in the thumbnail. Knights of the Old Republic is like a perfect one-to-one port of the original game for mobile phones. I don't know how they pulled that off because it worked just fine on my iPhone 5S and it works even better on my iPhone 6S Plus. That game ported perfectly. Asper Media, the company that did the port, they deserve awards for this port. It's really, really good, and it has controller support before a lot of other games I've played. Even before Fortnite had controller support, this had controller support. So they really pulled off like a technical miracle, putting this on perfectly to iOS and Android. And they couldn't. Now just bring me number 2. I need number 2 now too. I got number 1. I can play all the way through. Please get Knights of the Old Republic 2 on mobile. I know it's tied up with Obsidian.
They're just gonna skip 2 and give you 3, and it's only gonna be a mobile, full of microtransactions. You're
Well,
welcome,
I
Chris.
could get the Old Republic on GeForce probably.
and I have 3 with microtransactions, and you have to wait 8 hours to do something.
Yeah. Yep.
Those turn-based battles are gonna take a while.
Mhm.
All right, well, lay it on me. What's one of your favorite mobile games?
All right, Snake on my graphing calculator.
I mean, yes, but
All right.
also no.
It doesn't totally count, but that does exist.
Yes,
I guess Angry Birds would be one of my favorite. I know, like I remember the original apps for this, which wouldn't necessarily be games, but remember the shotgun one where like it made the shotgun sound. You could like you try to like flip the iPhone or the iPod Touch as fast as you can to make it like shoot as fast as you could.
Ching, ching.
Do you remember this during high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like there right when all this started happening. So those are the games that we played, and then I stopped playing mobile games. So those are the kind of apps like the shotgun one, or you get like the balance bar and you try to like see if it's actually accurate, and you would put it like on your desk or you put it like on the whiteboard or something. So those aren't really games, but we made games out of them as high school students. But yeah, I would say those like Angry Birds, the shotgun game, and obviously Snake was a lot of fun too. So
Go ahead.
Well, for me, my first game was Snake on Nokia. But as for the games that I still play currently, and I guess you could call them favorites, is anything that I have on my emulator. Duel Links or Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and Pokemon
Oh yeah,
Go.
that's pretty good. I thought they did a really good job with Duel Links. I played that for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, other than it being like a smaller, compact version of the actual card game itself, it's not half bad at all. I've never had to pay a cent into it, so it all works out.
Oh, quick shout out to 2 other games. I totally forgot about them. There was a game I recommended on a previous Fandom Friday, which is why I didn't bring it up today. It's called Partia or Partia. I'm not sure. There's a language barrier on that one, but it's essentially a fully fledged Fire Emblem like game that's not Fire Emblem Heroes, which I do not recommend you get Fire Emblem Heroes. I think that they could have done a much better job with Fire Emblem Heroes than they actually did. But
yeah,
no,
I have that.
I'm disappointed. You get 4 characters on a map that's like a 4x4 grid. It's just, I feel like Nintendo should have done a better job.
I understand. I agree with that. I've got it downloaded. I played it for about a day, and it's just sat there the whole time.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you what Partia looks like in case you didn't watch that Phantom Friday episode. That was images. So it's like legitimately Fire Emblem on a mobile game.
Yeah, it looks super similar.
It's like the GBA games, not like the new ones.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's really nice. The only thing that you're missing in this is those cool animations for the fights. They don't have.
Oh, okay.
They don't have the fighting animations. What was that?
I said I don't have to have that.
Yeah, understand.
That's the only reason why I play, Chris.
The developers of this game made all 3 of them and essentially made no money on it. So it was a work of love. And like I said, the only thing for me was when I tried to get a hold of them to let them know we were going to promote their game on our Phantom Friday episode, because we haven't gotten paid for a single promotional thing we've ever done.
Hasn't.
I just wanted to let them know we were going to do that in case they wanted to watch our video and hear my thoughts on it. But I think this is like one of the best mobile ports ever. Now, two mobile ports that I also want to shout out that no longer exist on the iOS App Store, to my knowledge. Back when I got my iPod Touch in like 2009, there was a Call of Duty Zombies game on iOS, and it was like a 1-to-1 perfect port of Nazi zombies, and it was made by Call of Duty, like the Activision, the publisher of it. And I couldn't believe it. It was like literally touch controlled, a perfect 1-for-1 remake of the Nazi zombies, and that was it. No COD multiplayer, nothing else other than you could download each map, kind of like you can do on the Xbox 360. It was really cool. But I was the only one of my friends that had it, so it's like I was just playing by myself all the time. And then Rayman 2, there was a perfect console port of Rayman 2: The Great Escape to both iOS and Android back in the day, and I thought that was amazing. And I guess that leads into the next question. What are some of the best console games that have been ported to mobile? I already gave you one, so you guys go ahead.
Yeah, I think all the Oddworld games were ported very well to iOS and Android. So like Munch's Odyssey, Abe's Odyssey. I don't know if you've ever played those games, but they're really fun 2D platformers. And also Stranger's Wrath and Munch's Odyssey are actually 3D games, but they look exactly the same. They play pretty much the same. I think they did a good job. Those are the only games I've played it both on console and on my phone. So basically the only thing I can offer.
Yeah, it looks pretty good on here. The graphics look pretty impressive. What do you got, Zeo?
Well, strangely enough, Call of Duty.
The new version?
The new version, it plays pretty well, strangely enough. Especially if you play it on your PC. Don't tell anybody that.
What, are you using BlueStacks?
Oh, but
do you use BlueStacks to do that, or do you use like a Chromebook?
Do what?
Do you use like BlueStacks, like one of those Android emulators to play it on your PC?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I had to test it out and was like, well, this isn't half bad on my phone with a touch screen, but what would happen if I had a mouse and keyboard? So, got to try that out.
There you go.
But yeah, that's actually not half bad. Other than that, I can speak of ports that are bad.
What are some bad ports?
Pretty much any Final Fantasy that was ported to the mobile. Don't
really?
play them. They're inferior copies of their originals.
I've heard good things.
It's just how they do the the menus and everything else. And
Mhm.
if you're gonna play it, emulate it. It's much better. A lot of the Steam ports are also the mobile ports. Strangely enough,
Mhm.
some of them not so much, but it's just the older Final Fantasies, like 6 and below, that have that
Okay.
problem.
And then there's
So-
the chibi version of Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah, I forgot that existed.
It's garbage.
But
No offense to anybody that plays it, but I was like, whoa, nope, I ain't doing that. I will say there's been a couple games that started out as mobile games that wound up being console games, like Oceanhorn. I know the Colors of Gaming.
Oceanhorn's great.
I know the Colors of Gaming just covered it and said they didn't
Yep,
like
and
it.
I enjoyed that video.
Yeah, I did enjoy the video, but that game is awesome. I can't believe that started out as a mobile game and expanded to all the different consoles, and including the Vita, the PlayStation Vita. It's
wait,
amazing.
there's a Vita version
Of Oceanhorn, yep.
Yeah, where's my Vita at? It's somewhere sitting here.
I have the physical copy printed through Limited Run Games. I do like to collect my physical media, so
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons I don't like mobile gaming as much. Is I like my physical media.
Same.
Yeah, I prefer my physical copies too.
As Will put it in a different episode, let's get physical.
Physical.
And content claim.
Yeah.
As if our singing is good enough to get the content ID.
Yeah, exactly.
But as far as mobile gaming, what is the impact it has had on the gaming market as a whole?
Crap.
There's a
So-
lot to unpack there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Let's
I
just
think
let's
the
just
obvious
name
one
let's
is
just name the obvious one.
microtransactions.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Oh.
Now just go ahead and grab the elephant by the horns real quick. Microtransactions. That's what they did for the gaming community. Microtransactions.
Free to play and microtransactions.
Oh man, it sucks.
Because mobile market is the only one that was willing to accept microtransactions. Basically, all of PC gamers had sworn off that kind of thing, and consoles hadn't even seen it yet. The mobile market was ripe for it. Like, here, download Clash of Clans. All right, now here you go. You can get these gems, or you can pay for them.
Well, I mean, Bethesda kind of started that, I think.
They tried
on the console
to.
side.
They tried
They,
to.
they tried to with horse armor.
And we talked about that on I think episode 24.3, if I remember correctly.
I may have to go take a look at that then.
It's been a while. I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago. It was back when our podcast was relatively new to the daily uploads.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We definitely have discussed this before, but I don't remember what episode.
I think it was
But
24.
aside from microtransactions, it's actually done a lot of good for gaming too. So let's put it more, I guess you can go with accessible to people. So, you've got more people who are more accepting of games than there would be, even if they play mobile only and they're just plebs. But,
Yeah, see, like we literally discussed, if you look at the thumbnail, let me get to the thumbnail. That's the Horse Armor DLC. It's like a meme about it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was back when our podcast had a different logo even. Look, you can see in the top left corner here. It's a long time ago.
logo red.
Yeah, we had a red
Yeah.
logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this was a while. I didn't even have a hat on.
No.
See, I really didn't know what I was doing. But
I'll have to say the podcast has definitely evolved over time. So
oh yeah, it definitely has. But yeah, we talked about it back then. That was October 16th of 2019, so it's been a while.
Yeah. It has.
But yeah, so DLC and microtransactions, we both agree we don't like DLC and microtransactions unless it's like a full bonus content type of thing. Like I thought Mass Effect 2 did a good job with their DLC because it added like a good hour, 2 hours of playtime for like $10.
Yeah. Or
It's
you
like-
get like the Blood and Wine expansion for The Witcher 3. I mean, that's fine, but the nickel and diming crap is ridiculous and is awful. And every game has it now, and that's 100% because of mobile gaming.
Yes, I would agree.
yeah, you can change your hair for $1, dead or alive.
You can buy a blue dot.
I just saw
gosh.
somewhere that you
that
can
was
rent
Call of Duty
a
with the blue
hairstyle.
dot, so
You can rent a video game hairstyle. I just saw this. I'm like, what are you renting a video game hairstyle? Let's see.
renting a video game hairstyle.
Yeah, there was a game. I just saw a game that was offering a microtransaction to rent a hairstyle.
Oh no, that's the next thing where it's
Chinese.
limited.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
man.
I know it was in the news. It was like video game hairstyle for. I think it might have been Fortnite. That's the only one that makes sense to me. But
Because
yeah.
I know a lot of those Chinese and Japanese MMOs, they'll be like, you can rent this gear or this style of gear for 7 days for $14.99.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Sounds awful.
I understand
Oh my
the concept
gosh.
of season passes. I'm fine with season passes, but something like that just it's like nails on a
You get to
chalkboard.
keep the content.
Yeah, there's like a fine line between what's acceptable and what's not sometimes, and it really just depends on the game itself. So
Honestly, I don't even care if they do unacceptable things, 'cause I won't buy it. But when it's the predatory behavior is what bothers me. When a game is geared towards a certain age or demographic, and you hit them with some predatory behavior, like let's say you let somebody easily wallop through a whole bunch of people, and then you say at the end of that game you offer them all this upgrade. And it's like, if you have this upgrade now, you might be able to win. It's like, well, yeah, I want the upgrade. How much does it cost? And they're like, oh, $1. And then all of a sudden they're playing much better.
You have actual gambling mechanics in a basketball game.
Yeah.
Or in GTA, that one actually has a slot machine, doesn't it?
I think
You
you're
can
right.
pay real money for the in-game money and then use it in the slot machine.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil, man. Your KOTOR just sent me a notification that your current quest is terrorist planetary information is in progress. I just restarted the game again, so I'm like at the very beginning. But,
No, be careful. That push notification might become illegal at some point.
yeah, we'll have to watch Zeo's episode tomorrow. Go check out our podcast, and then right after that, go check out Zeo's podcast.
They're already on our podcast, Chris.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're already checking it out, so thank you.
Yeah, watch here and then head over to my channel and watch my thing, and sit back, relax, and get some coffee because it's going to be a while.
Popcorn, coffee, and a couple of tissues for the tears. Anyways, the last thing. What is the future of mobile gaming?
I think eventually it's just going to merge into one thing. So it's going to be like Switch, but on steroids, where everything is going to be, you can stream from everywhere you're at. You can play anything, anywhere. I think eventually that's going to be how it is.
Yeah, I could see that. And you might even get to a point where live streamers can use the front-facing camera on their phone with an app and stream a game with them on it from literally just their phone. What about you, Zeo?
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how the technology evolves from here. I mean, we can go through the science fiction route and, have phones in your hands and all that other jazz, and just have things sort of beam in, I guess, like Nerve Gear-esque, maybe, 80 years from now or something. But, I think it's all going to sort of meld into one thing. Once the industry gets, out of this whole give me every nickel and dime and start working together to do like remote play and things like that, it's all just going to sort of get more compact, easily accessible, and you're just going to be able to do it anywhere, anytime, and it'd be just a natural thing. And of course, with augmented reality and virtual reality coming into the mix, it could go anywhere.
I agree 100%. Mobile gaming is like this. It's like this thing it just can't die. But at the same time, I think right now we're in a valley. Like we were at the peak in I would say 2010 to 2013 time frame. I'd say it kind of went back down. I'd say people are more on, so maybe China, but people in the US, I'd say they saw the Switch and they're like, I want that, right? I don't see people gaming on their phones unless it's something more casual. nowadays, especially walking through a meeting at work. I'll see somebody on Candy Crush or something. I was like, yeah. But I really don't see any hardcore gaming on phones, at least in my own circles.
Yeah, well, I remember at a time when thinking this was the future, and it's like, oh man, all consoles are gonna be gone within a couple of years, and then it just kind of like fizzled out. I think everyone was super pumped when like apps first came out and those app games first came out, and excited about the potential, and that kind of just took 10 or 12 years to actually reach that potential. So a lot of people have kind of fell away. It's still really cool now what you can do. So you have full games from console on there and Call of Duty and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely not as excited as I was when it first came out.
I think touch controls is a very limiting factor, which is why I picked up the Rotor Riot.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm missing. I would probably play games on my phone more often if I had something like that.
This physically plugs into my phone, and then I mount my phone on this little grip here. I got in on the beta test with this because they had it on Amazon at like $20 when it first launched, just to get people out to use it and test it out. And now it's like either $40 or $50. But it literally uses the lightning cable and connects directly to my cell phone. That's how I play KOTOR with that. Not going to be able to play something like Temple Run, which, by the way, another great game. But,
oh, yeah, that was a good game, yeah.
Definitely could play like your Fortnites or like KOTOR. And it has the L3, R3 capabilities now because Apple updated the controller inputs. So that's good. You can also use a PS4 or an Xbox One controller with your phone now, at least with the iOS phones.
Yeah, not with mine. Mine's too outdated.
Oh, okay.
I thought about it. I tried it. It didn't work.
I do believe Rotor Riot has a micro USB C or whatever that, not C, micro USB and a USB C compatible cord on these devices. So if you don't have Bluetooth available, I believe they have that. So, but they are more expensive. They're really good quality, but they are more expensive. I can look it up real quick, and then that'll be it for me. You guys got anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I've got nothing else.
All right, well, I'm pulling this controller up. Everybody's gonna be bored for a second. Yeah, see? Oh, they're advertising it at $50, and they're advertising it with the Rotor Riot. Okay, here's the old version. Yeah, so this is the version when I bought it. This is what it was, $40.
Yeah, I think if I knew I was going to go over someplace and just had nothing else to take with me, I'd definitely break that out and take it with me to play on my phone. Especially if I can get my emulators to work with it.
And it has power pass-through now, which originally it didn't have. So you can plug like a charging cable into it. Like mine, the version I have, does not have a ability to plug a lightning cable into it and charge my phone. The new versions have that. Yeah, it feels just like an Xbox One controller or like a 360, somewhere in between those two. It's really nice. All right, so as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Zeo.
And you might see us again
in the CHRILLCAST.
See you later.
Coming to a cell phone near you.
Yeah. See ya.
It only costs you an extra $1 per minute.